And a lot, and of course, my speech. Thank you so much. I don't know this one as a
Now, Minister, there is a car key there. The different sessions will not fit your car.
And the briefing notes that I was reading. Just the handover report. I sit down and get them. This is part of the material that is going to use in his office. The Children's Amendment Act, the Youth Act, and the Constitution, the Youth
UG 1116.
Yes.
You know, when I came here, the handover had another number plate. When I was given another number plate. May he give our black card?
Wenziridde mu bigere olw'omulimu omulungi gwakoze ate alipoota awandiise alipooti nnungi alipooti eyo egenda kungaidinga kiki tulina okukola newentandikira ne wenja okukoma mukama wakume.
Who Uganda's youth are, and I just want to allay his concerns perhaps that Uganda's youth are the most vibrant in the region. Learning from the president of our country, Uganda's youth.
So now, thank you, and the outgoing minister is signing the handover notes. So we are witnessing the ceremony of signing the notes before she hands over to the incoming minister, the Dr. Balaam will attend. He's also confirming that he has received the handover notes. Sometimes people leave office and they don't leave any information to guide the new person. Actually, we are having a peaceful transition.
Thank you, Minister, and I want to thank General Mozi for mentoring me who I am now in this side of politics. Me, I'm been so much in political mobilization, but I'm in private sector. I'm a business person. And this minister has been one of my clients. I have to make a disclaimer, and immediately after this meeting I have to write to the IGG and notify him that I may have conflict of interest in the ministry where I am, so that I am cleared, so that it's not blown out of the way in future. I've come to work for the most vulnerable ministry, which has 75% of the population of Uganda. Just you could be aware, out of that 70%, only 13 or 17% are skilled. The rest, 83% are not skilled. And then, this very ministry, among those youth, almost 52%, 51% of those young girls have been married or they are divorced. Either early marriage or late marriage, but they are struggling with life. Then, still among those same youth, they are unemployed. So my discussion yesterday with the president at Chisos, he gave me 4 guidelines and assignments. He said, you go and carry out what we call transformation. The transformation you are going to do is simple. You may not have the money, but let people have the knowledge of what is required to be done. To give an example of a village in Chisos, 9 villages in Chisos, where he met them living in a bush style. As of now, when I look at an average income of that, the 9 villages is about 15 billion. What did he do? He gave them a haifa. Others received chicken, others received matoke, and they are doing it on 3, 4, 5 acre model. So his acre model, 4 acre model came from that very village. So you look at a young lady, a villager there, she has 1 acre of coffee, she earns close to 7 million. Said, does that require a lot of money from the bank? Said, no, what we need now is to establish nurseries where we can grow coffee. These young people who have their ancestral land can go and grow coffee. So they get money from those people. They are not facilitated, they don't have transport. So you cannot give me money and then you expect me to bring it back to you unless you ask for it. But now also, the person to monitor in a district has no bite to reach out to these youth, even to see that the money was put to right use. Many young people have been given money, they have ended up marrying. Purpose in Baga. They have ended up compensating the defilement cases in their communities. They have ended up using that money for political offices where even they don't win. So I encourage young people, let us use the little money available. Let us copy the Mzee concept of the 9 villages around Kiso's farm. He brought those exemplary farmers who spent 7 hours. They are giving their testimonies. The only thing I did ask them if they have a bank account, so that they bring those statements and we show the world. But people have changed using the very little resources available. It is hard for him to roll it out, but it is a model concept that can be given to the poorest districts. And the youth especially can use that. But you cannot change the youth unless the youth leaders have changed and they're exemplary. So you the youth leaders, I know you have a small budget. Let us use that budget meaningfully for development, not for functions. I am a people minister and I will be a people minister. My door is open to general public every Tuesday. Only on Tuesday, Mondays for cabinet, and the rest of the days are for field work. Because Sarah briefed me last night that she gets calls from Makuku, from Bale, from where, and she has to take time and go and see what is happening. You can't do it if you are sitting in office. So let us work together and let us focus on eliminating the early, and this is what I've been doing. I told him, sir, I'm a patriot. You met me in PLU, which is a patriotic league of Uganda. First of all, it's not a political party. It's a civic organization agitating for love for country. Our focus has been love for country. And then we said, please, the anti-corruption crusade should proceed. He doesn't want to hear me that I've shared money in the ministry. I've done ABCD. I'm connecting with the Yellow to the youth fund.
Private sector and you're having to work with the government. You're going to see a lot of changes, and you will have to adjust whether you want it or not. The good thing, I had worked with government, then I went to private sector. Private sector first made me dance up and down, but later I came back. Then I said, now again, I came like a fresher, starting afresh.
When we talk about it, I've had my sister so many challenges, but almost the same challenges. I keep facing them. I'm not a minister, I've not been a minister. I've never worked in government, but I've been working as a minister of Uganda. Someone called me at midnight and said, my child has been sent home. They need shoe lessons. We need 36,000. You're the minister of children. Then another one called me and said, I'm a youth. I'm getting married, I'm in Utareja. They have asked for 5 cows. They have asked for 5 cows. So I said, oh, so I need, I think, a whole ranch to maintain the, and then now the youth leader of Kampala, she wants Haifa. So it's a people ministry. And it is annoying when they don't give you money. You need money. This ministry needs money, but I think the president needs to know that the disabled, the young children who are getting married, because they are getting married due to poverty in their homes. Their mothers share a room with their father at 12. They have already known the acts after 8 p.m. They know the acts what the father and mother do. Because they are sharing turning in a small room. So before we think of that now, we need to focus also on our own family transformation. Removing our families out of poverty. When I looked at a report, Kamuli district, Buyende, Namayingo, Mayuge, they are ranking not in performance, like in getting money or taking children to school, giving out their children at 12 years, and at 10 years, someone is a mother. First school is on the rise, having babies at early age. It is, we are contributing to the vicious circle of poverty after poverty. At 12 you have no job. The person who has impregnated you is a bicycle rider selling water in the village. Or he sells fene. Usually people move with the fene on the border, fene and the knife. So some of them don't even have that income. So let us support the president, colleagues, ministers and the senior staff of this ministry. Let us justify the reason why we need resources and let them know that it is resources. If we can't get it in government, let us also try in development partners. Yeah, we let us make our case very hard. I know when you cry and cry and cry, sometimes they listen. When you don't cry, they will think those ones are comfortable. How can I have an international youth there and there is no money for it? These young people need to speak their minds out. So they celebrated all over the world. So the PS and the commissioners present, it is our duty now, we embark on that. Children's Day, Elderly Day, the Disabled Day. Let us work on those days. Let them be factored in the budget. I don't know, yesterday the Prime Minister and the Speaker told me that the budget process has almost concluded. So pending is committee sitting. So they told me it's unfortunate my appointment has come at a later date, but I said we shall make noise.
And try to let us come with some concrete proposition on how we deal with the issue. Of course, the other issue which I look at so much and it keeps coming is habitual dismissal by the employers. So the employers who are on the board, the workers put the employers who are on the board to be in the middle. I'm glad the chair has said they are going to build consensus. Please consult stakeholders. I'm glad that in the morning ILO called me and said they are willing to train. So PS and Commissioner, that is already a commitment that they want to build your capacity, including exchange visits to look at best practices on this labor arbitration board. And it's arbitration because they want to look at more of arbitration and mediation on some of these critical issues. Of course, minimum wage has come several times. The formula, what do we use as a formula? What is the best practice? It's very crucial that you put your energy on the question of minimum wage, because every little time we meet with the labor union, they are talking about minimum wage. But the minimum wage is contextualized around our economy. So when you are dealing with that, you also need to see how do we balance. Because if you put a minimum wage which is too high, majority of the private sector employing our Ugandans are still the people who are in the small and medium. The large are very few that will be able to pay the minimum wage. So that the debate around minimum wage, you need to contextualize around the issue of majority of the employers still in the bracket of small and medium. So when you're giving us advice on it, you need to contextualize it critically as a team. Because your advice, when you bring it, I'm bound by it unless I decide to say, let me do further consultation with other people. But really, I want to thank Parliament, and we will again thank them because we push this very hard, but also the Committee of Gender of Parliament took it up. Every time I say, where are the women? So I'm glad that we have the 3 women. So these days, they don't bring things without women. Because they know when we take without women, we are going to go back. So I want to congratulate the women who are here.
Yes,
but the women equally have the good CV. That shows you that we have also women out there who have the potential to participate. Of course, this is a ministry which has gender, and we are supposed to be inclusive. So when I ask for it, it's not because of other things, because our constitution demands that we be inclusive of everybody. Now this board is very crucial because it advises the minister on so many things which you've already been told. But for me, when I came and I read about this board, what struck me is always what comes to our desk, me and the peers. Majority of the issues in this ministry are issues of labor and employment.
I think top on the agenda is the issue of compensation, which I want you, the team, to look at very critically, where employers are not cooperating in compensating workers who have been injured in the course of their work. I'm certain that maybe in the industrial court, that could also be one of the key issues. This really is something which we need to study deeply, because Ugandans are going to turn against government because we are not addressing simple matters of the employment issues. Because every Ugandan, we are supposed as government to solve the needs of Ugandans. And the first need of the Ugandan is, do I have a job to feed my family? Is my right being protected in that job? Now that burden is on you and on us. We were carrying it with the PS and the team in the ministry. Now you have joined us. The second issue which comes to my desk and is desk quite frequent is the issue of contractual obligation, especially the issue of third-party contractual obligation, where companies are now trying to use other ways to dodge workers. So they look for companies who will bring for them workers, and workers are working as subcontractors. And they think when that occurs, they don't have an obligation. Whether somebody is injured, whether somebody is having a medical issue, then they want to escape. So some of these are areas where if you sit with the department and you look at, because the law has not tied so much that issue of third party. I think in the current act, which was returned before Parliament,
in terms of difference of the law, especially those roles on advising the minister on all employment matters, on the labor officers and inspections, I believe that this is going to strengthen the office of the labor officer, which actually fits into the industrial court, and their role also, Honorable Minister, in advising you on all employment and labor issues, will also, I believe, bridge the gaps that are currently experienced at that level, so that the work that is the references to the court will be minimized. Because I believe if you deal with all these issues at that level, then we'll have more of apparent issues to deal with, and the office of the labor officers and inspectors will be strengthened to enable the court to do more important and resolve more important and more difficult labor matters. So I would like to add my most to congratulate you, Honorable Minister, on bringing these specialized agencies on board, including our court. I believe with a promise that the chairperson has made, the industrial court is going to be supported. Currently, our workload is over 3,000 cases to be handled by 2 judges. So if you do your role, play your role as you have promised the minister, I believe many cases can be resolved by mediation. Because I saw something about you mediating between the federation and labor unions. If the labor unions are strengthened and the federation of employers is strengthened and the work is done at that level, then I think we shall have this work, and we don't need to stay and delay delivery of justice. Honorable Minister, I believe that this also resonates with the theme now. The theme of the Labor Day is improving access to labor justice. And some of these initiatives, all these initiatives are really geared towards that. With a strong lab, a strong labor unions, a strong federation of employers, and a strong labor court. And I believe with their role also in strengthening the legislative framework
addressing labor rights, we are really moving towards improving labor and access to labor justice. Thank you once again.
It's a time bomb, and I think we need to address it, not only with the children who have not been in school, even those who have completed, even those who are in school. I think we need to do something. We have left that for the civil society organizations. I think we should also come in as government. We need to address the issue of unemployment, anti-employment causes, the challenges of externalization of labor, few bilateral agreements, and of course, as the Department of Youth, at times we are left out, yet actually most of the people who are going for this labor are the youth. I think they should also bring the Department of Youth on board. Inadequate investment in the creative industry, MDD and sports games. Please note that this creative industry, the fast growing industry in the world, we have not and we are not invested meaningfully in this industry. The issues of climate change and of course which really affect the youth, limitation of access to ICT, expensive connectivity, limited connectivity, expensive gadgets. The challenges are many. As I conclude, I will just finalize. I'm going to talk about this. It's just to talk to our youth so that we are able to know how to
need to look into and see where do we put such people. Do we have proper homes where we can keep these people, steal them, and then they become useful citizens? And it's a critical issue I got here because we were closing one home for children with service, and I was asking the minister. He wrote a letter. They said, where do you want to take them? Can I bring them to your office? Because they are still youth. They have got to 18. Now, let me carry all of the disabled children, put in your office. Because for me, they were young people. But I want to appreciate that we did just a technical kind of thing of handling that case, and the home has been built in and just come out to it. So I think there's something that we need to look at, and you come in to see how we can look at this. This achievement notwithstanding, we as government recognize a lot still remains to be done. The fight on remote salary began on elimination of street children, elimination of teenage pregnancies, and I'm happy that I have the minister already working in Utebo. I saw you there already working before you were in the handover. And I was like, I think the minister has come and was handling the issue and the pregnancies. And the
people in the workforce, those are majority of whom will be registered workers. You know, for us politicians, we speak in terms of what? For you technical people, you speak in terms of what? Service delivery. So when you do service delivery, we know that the boss are there. If you support us and the workers are happy, we know that what? The boss are there. So we complement each other in that. But really, I welcome all of you who are members of this board, and I hope that you bring expertise and your technical expertise and perspective should unreservedly be brought into the board to support us to do our work and ensure that the labor laws are enforced and implemented and that justice prevails in the context of treating workers with dignity, respect, fairness. And you have already heard from the head judge that you should also want to see how your work complements the work of the industrial court, which means one of your very interactions should be with her and her team. Our team has also representatives of workers and employers in the industrial court. So you will interact with them to understand contextually what type of complaints and issues are critical before them that can help you to do the work. So our country will depend on your service, and I want to congratulate you once again and now have the honor and pleasure to officially declare the new Labor Advisory Board inaugurated and wish you the very best in your time.
course, we have increasing and persistent youth unemployment, weak coordination in the face of multiple stakeholders, especially within the children's department. And of course, we have limited coverage, education, and increased vulnerability. Adults with total disabilities and without relatives in the children's homes. If you visit Nakuru Children's Home, you will also think twice and say, now where do these children? With total disability, you have to provide the diapers, you have to provide the mother to care for them, so there is a lot. Nakuru is very near, you can visit there. Of course, we have inadequate finance, as we have already talked about it, and most of the activities that are within these departments, we really depend a lot on donor funding.
Kadi ofisi ya muhimu.
We are all saying we need this board, we need to make provision for it. And so that teamwork has yielded, and now we need your collective commitment. Again, you cannot work as individual, that's why you're board. You need collective commitment. I know some of you have your own ministries to deal with, but I also need your commitment in this matter. And so when it's necessary for you to burn the candle, I request you to burn the candle, because you're burning the candle for the greater good of the society.
Marriages and teen pregnancies in Uganda. The promotion of the well-being of children across the country. You were the chair of the Commonwealth Youth Ministers in 2015 years.
And you listen. Don't come with a tough hand. Some will insult you, some will just listen. I told them that I was also once a youth and I think I used to be such. I remember I was in university and I made a coup. I changed the English. I said, now exactly what I used to do. Exactly what is coming back to me. So just know how to balance it. I just want to present you the notes to enable you to understand the functionality of the ministry and also help you to internalize the aspects of gender, labor, and social development for your political oversight. The Minister of State for Gender, Labor, and Social Development, Charge of Youth and Children, directly supervises the Department of Youth and Children Affairs and oversees the issues related to youth and children. The Minister's duty is to ensure that these two groups of population are empowered to enable them participate in sustainable development while contributing to national progress.
Where work is being done. And we have come up with a number of interventions, programs that will confirm this. Hopefully, the next 5 or so years from now may not be the same for this country. And as you can see the trajectory, they say we are now confirmed with the middle income status. But people are still saying yes. That is one thing. But what is the life of the people? What are the conditions under which people are living and working? Are they even working? So all this is business for this board. I would like to welcome you once again. I've been asked that the members of the newly inaugurated board, of course, plus the distinguished member of Parliament, the Lord Judge, should join the minister here for a photo. And then
Have it interesting in your office when you see fathers coming with babies that their mothers have run away. Those are also issues I have also been facing there now. And of course, we need to balance maintenance of the family breaking down. One of the things that I avoided, and the first time I came, I had issues of family, and I would see the press coming, we are following this, and I said, now, what I can, if it is a family issue, allow me to solve the problem, because I don't think media is going to help me solve the problem.
First of all, thank you and congratulate the members for their appointments. When these things come, they are processed from the department, they come to me, and I look at the CVs of the people that are being proposed, and when I looked at the CV, because that is the most important thing in public service, that you have the expertise to handle the assignment. And of course, when we discussed with the team, all of you had wonderful CV to do that.
Abatali kusosola ntandika n'emirimu egisinga obunene ebirala tugenda kubyogera mu press conference yetujja okukola nga amaze okulayira mu parliament ku ssaawa 8 mukama bukumbi.
Most of them are very impatient. All of them when you're doing that, that language should change and the mentality should change. And finally, there is a very serious big pledge that you have to follow up. I can't leave this place without talking. The chairman is here. The motorcycles. That is a very big challenge that you're going to meet the head of the motorcycles, the district chairperson, youth chairperson, and the helpers.
The minister will also up there chairing the Commonwealth thing. So I think they use under your leadership.
Especially in Kono district and Wakiso. Most of these homes are around here. I don't know why you should make that study and find out. There are about 400 adults whose relatives cannot be traced and are stuck in the children's homes. And I think we should also promote Ugandans also to adopt these children and adults. Not thinking that being adopted, you should be going outside the country. I think all of you have homes. You can think of getting one child from these homes. Many of these children, the 400 I'm talking about, most of them are persons with disabilities. And that makes it a very big challenge for adopting them. Becomes a very big challenge. Government of Uganda should come up with a plan to solve this problem. The children homes mentioned above are run using resources privately mobilized by promoters, yet it is our duty to provide care and protection to children outside parental care and protection.
Parliament amateeka ago singa bagateeka mu nkola gakolera ddala bulungi. Kati ng'etteeka ly'okukozesa obubi emikutu